For $8, it is definitely a ripoff. Why be easy when you can just die? Woo! Well, I'm Chewy Mew, and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew video. Where today, I went to Walmart again, and Hasbro defeated me, once again. And that is because I bought another figure from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And this time, it was Spider-Gwen. So I've already reviewed Peter B. Parker and Spider-Man 2099 from this same wave. And now we have Gwen here. You may notice, does have a slight bobblehead here. A slight bobblehead, which is obviously, not good. I'm really hoping the head isn't broken. I'm pretty sure someone tried, stealing the head off of this figure, and they couldn't get it off all the way, so I hope I can push this back on. So yeah, so here's the read-up. Gwen Stacy keeps busy between band practice, protecting her city as Spider-Gwen, and keeping her spider identity a secret. Extremely vague read-up that basically says, hey, she's a hero that doesn't want people to know who she is. She's in a band. She's in a band? Did they even mention that in the first movie? They might have. I don't know. But yeah, so this is... Now I have 3 out of the 4 figures from this Across the Spider-Verse toy wave, I guess. I'm not gonna be buying Miles just because the figure to me looks extremely bland. These scissors suck, dude. Should be able to just squeeze the feet out here. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy Miles just because I think that figure looks super bland. I don't know. I thought this figure looked pretty plain, but this time I decided to get it just because they actually lowered the price. These used to be 10. Now they lowered them to 8. I don't know why they did. Maybe there was some kind of issue in the system. Maybe these are supposed to be $8. But lowered it to 8, and I was like, well, for $8, I'll see if I can. I'll buy it. And it looks pretty cool. And then a sculpted head, which is kind of whatever. And also, most of the Miles figures there actually were missing the head. And in my Spider-Man 2099 video, there was actually a Miles head stuck in the bottom of the box. Kind of weird. And also, I have to mention the obligatory plastic-free packaging, which, yeah, that's a good thing that Hasbro is saving some money for themselves, I love when multi-billion-dollar corporations save money for themselves. Then you get this nice little web thing. I think this one looks really cool. The one that Peter B. Parker comes with is this one here. I gave this to my custom McFarlane. You can tell this one looks a lot more webby. This one looks more like someone's spilling milk or something, like there's a hole in a milk jug and the milk is just pouring out, that was super easy to take off. Yeah, that didn't take any effort, so I guess the person maybe tried breaking off the head or something, I don't know. Well, but yeah, so pretty much for every Miles I encountered, can I put this on? Yeah, pretty much for every 5 or 6 Miles figures they had, there was one Spider-Gwen, which is a little unfortunate, that these were really hard to get. Pretty bare bones, for $8, it is definitely a ripoff. I would say this should be more around between the $3 and $4 range, especially with how limited the possibility is. But that kind of shows you just how good Hasbro has brainwashed everyone to think, oh, this is $8. It's okay, you can't expect much for $8. For $8, I was expecting something like Snapshot Spider-Man. This should be maybe $3 or $4. But complaints aside, this web thing, like I said, looks like milk, but it looks cool. So I don't quite remember what everyone's webs look like, but that looks pretty cool. This is also a squishier plastic, so it's a lot easier to put on. The other ones, I feel like I'm gonna break the wrist putting these on. But yeah, there you go, and that looks it looks kind of weird. It would be cool, which there's no way Hasbro would ever want to risk spending money to do this, but it would be cool if they used a transparent piece of plastic and they just painted all this white and left this transparent so it's not as noticeable. Because without smaller hand it looks kind of weird. It looks I don't know, to me it looks kind of weird. It doesn't look the best with the way this is shaped, But that aside, here's the face sculpt. Excuse me, I had to go on there. There's the face sculpt. So the original, or no, not the original, the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure Wave version of this, which wasn't Into the Spider-Verse, actually had a, what's it called, dry brushing around the eyes. Yeah, dry brushing around the eyes, which I think looks really cool, and this one is a much more just slightly matte yellow with or white with the outline being kind of pink. The one issue I've noticed is you can rotate the head side to side, but you can't look up because the hood blocks it, so she's kind of perpetually stuck looking down, which is a little unfortunate. I mean, the other figures kind of had that issue, but this is a little bit worse. You know, if they could have sculpted less on the hood back here. Sorry, I don't know why I keep yawning. It's like 2:30 p.m. I don't know why I'm yawning. It's like, looks like there's like some dirtiness right there. But yeah, if they would have sculpted a little bit less of this hood back here, that'd be okay to, you know, move the head. But you can't really angle the head. It's like fuzz on it. Yeah, also one thing I noticed as well is, looks like there's like a slight crack right here on the arm. That's kind of weird. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Maybe it's like a QC issue or something. They also didn't paint the underside of the arms. They didn't paint the web on the underside of the arms, which is, you know, really stupid. Like, what are you doing, Hasbro? I might try painting these to match the color of the arms. I might not. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But other than that, I think it looks cool. Like, it definitely, out of the three that I own, it definitely has the least amount of like stuff going on. Like, at least 2099, he's completely decked out with sculpt. Peter B. Parker's also completely sculpted. And this one, she does have shoes though. I didn't even notice that. It does have shoes. They didn't paint the laces or anything, which is a little unfortunate. On the bottom of the foot, oh, this one's a new one. 2022, Hasbro, made in Vietnam. Because the original Peter B. Parker actually says 2018, so they just reused the one from Into the Spider-Verse. Other than that, I think this looks pretty cool. It is a simplistic, kind of more basic toy, but for $8, it is very, very much a ripoff. It should be like maybe $3 or $4. This could very easily just been a Happy Meal toy, you know? Because I've seen some Spider-Man collectors, the ones that collect like the 90s Toy Biz figures, and they sometimes put McDonald's toys, and they kind of fit in a little bit. I mean, some of those 90s Toy Biz figures were not the highest quality, but the fact that you can put a McDonald's toy with those figures and have it fit, if I were to find this in a Happy Meal, I wouldn't think that, oh, this is way too high quality for McDonald's toys. I would think, yeah, it kind of works. You know, take off this webbing and then boom, call it a day, and put it in McDonald's, and there you go. I kind of wish they did sculpt, I wish they kind of sculpted these rims here. I mean, you know, if they made if they made a Marvel Legends of this, or made a Marvel Legends figure out of this, they would have sculpted these on. But no, even in all the Marvel Legends versions of Spider-Gwen, they never bothered sculpting these to make them raised or make them, like, caved in. You know, they could totally have done that. Just make this black part, make the black part flat like the rest of the body, and then right around the edges here, like on the costume, make them kind of raised. I think it would have been cool, but obviously Hasbro would never want to risk trying too hard, because, you know, what if it's too good? They can't have their figures be too good, you know? I know it sounds like I'm really hating on this figure and I'm really crapping all over it. Oh man, I don't know why I keep yawning. I'm not even tired. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I know it sounds like I'm crapping on this figure and just saying how it's horrible and all these kinds of things. But honestly, I don't think it's bad. I think it's okay. And I kind of wanted to buy it because, like I said, when I got Peter B. Parker in Spider-Man 2099, is I could get one figure. In those cases, those were $11. This was $8, which, you know, that's a better price. Still expensive, but it's a better price. And so in this case, I would much rather buy one $8 figure that is kind of mediocre than spend like $24 on a figure that is also mediocre. So to me, this and a Hasbro Marvel Legends figure, there's not really much difference as far as like the quality of the plastic. Because the quality of this plastic, it does feel really good. It feels like what you would expect from a figure to feel like. You know, the quality of this is great. I don't have any Toy Biz figures near me. Can you believe that? A Spider-Man collector, and I don't have any figures near me. I have Peter B. Not this guy. Oh, this guy here. This one, the quality does feel a little bit higher quality, I will say. This is the custom McFarlane Spider-Man. And I will say the plastic The plastic on this actually does feel a bit cheaper. Like, it is pretty wiggly around. The quality on this plastic does feel thicker. I mean, it should, because that's meant to be the more collector's kind of grade, whereas this is meant to be kids kind of grade. But yeah, as far as that goes, I don't really. This and a Marvel Legends figure are kind of the same. I mean, Marvel Legends usually, Hasbro figures usually have higher production quality compared to this. Take that off. It's kind of annoying me. It keeps hitting her leg. I have an alarm going off. Let me stop that. At 2 p.m. I don't know why there's an alarm going off at 2:30. I keep getting distracted here. But yeah, so I think this figure does look cool. To me, this and a Marvel Legends figure, basically the only difference is that these are slightly smaller scale compared to the rest of the Hasbro figures. Let's compare it to someone that was in the same movie as her, and that is my custom Prowler. Shout out to Mr. L, because I made this custom and he guessed correctly who this was, and so we made videos together. And yeah, you can see she is a little bit out of scale, but also this guy has had some modifications that he's not quite at the height he should be. He should be taller, kind of bulky looking, but yeah, so she's supposed to be, she should be more like, actually no, I think maybe she specifically is in scale with other figures. For example, if I take my first Spider-Man figure ever, he's a little bit on the shorter side. He's not super tall. We compare the two of them. Yeah, he's a little bit on the short side, but you can see that I feel like these two work really good. Like the height of these two, because she's supposed to be shorter than Peter Parker, and I feel like that works. And also Spider-Man 2099, which is here. I didn't even see him here the whole time. He's quite a bit taller, which in the movie they make him look a lot bigger, so I feel like this scale works really good. This guy, he is a little too short to fit in with like the bigger Marvel figures, but in general, that's pretty much the only difference between this and Marvel Legends. It is slightly smaller, slightly cheaper plastic, which it's kind of whatever. I mean, you know, whatever. And then of course the articulation, which Marvel Legends, if we're being honest, a female Marvel Legends figure doesn't have that much more posability. Which, let's take a look at the articulation. Unfortunately, she does have a ball joint head, which basically only rotates because the hoodie blocks it. The arms go up a decent amount. Basically go up the same as a Hasbro Marvel Legends. You get rotation here in the arm, and you get a single bend in the elbow, which, again, is basically the same as the female Marvel Legends figures. They're slowly giving double jointed elbows, but you can tell Hasbro is really trying hard to not use them yet. You don't get any, like, hinges or rotation here in the wrist or anything, but you can. It is bendable, but you might break it. You get a web accessory. How many female Marvel Legends figures get a web accessory? Not many. And then the legs kick forward. They don't kick up 90 degrees, but they kick up, yeah, that's a little bit less than 90 degrees. I'd say like maybe 85 or maybe 90. I don't know. And then you can kick the other one too. Bend the legs back. And she has peg holes on the feet, which, like I said, for $11, this is a ripoff. For $8, this is still a ripoff, but not as hardcore. So whenever I review a figure, I always review them in a vacuum, which is a whole other story. Or I don't review them in a vacuum, which is a whole other story. But either way, let me know what you think about this figure. Let me know if you would want to get this, if you could. Let me know if you have this or whatever. And I will see you guys in the next video. Wow.